It's probably not a good idea to go grocery shopping at the 24-hour Kroger after a long night of drinking. I continue to learn this lesson almost every weekend. And I'm okay with that. Billy, did you forget?
Oh, yes, I did.
Come on, man. You're the fifth guy.
I should know that. All right, let's go. Dana Wilson.
Dana Wilson.
Yeah, I think that's good. So I didn't plan on this, hey. But the theme is education. I didn't realize it was a slam, and I disagree with Josh. I've been in education since I got out of college, and I think that we all have a story. There's always that one. Most of it all becomes a blur, but there's one that sticks with you. And this is that story, and it really did happen this way. It's going to sound a little fantastic. But when I was in college at the University of Colorado, I majored in activism, and I happened to get a film production degree on the side. And so when I graduated, I really had no idea what to do with my life. And I was sitting in a coffee shop talking to a friend who was working in TV production about how I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. And someone overheard at the table next to me and said, "Why don't you come and work with youth up in the mountains?" And I was like, okay. So I started working at this place called the Boulder County Juvenile Justice Wilderness Work Camp. It's like hoods in the woods, you know? Totally. And so I got into it, and instantly I realized that I was like totally doing what I was supposed to be doing with my life. Like I knew it was kind of awesome because I did film production and video production. I majored in documentary and social documentaries and stuff, and I like kind of sucked at it, but I was like could fake it. But this was one thing that I didn't have to try, you know, it just like worked. And this one story that sticks out among all the stories of that the year and a half that I worked out there, and then for a year and a half, 2 years, I actually slept outside 2/3 of the nights of the year under a tent or under the stars. Accompanied by young boys or young girls, depending on what kind of camp it was, but who were in an alternative sentencing program that they were trading basically 20 days in jail for 10 days at this camp. And we did service projects, and we would remove old barbed wire fences and replace them with deer-safe fences, or build bridges over trails or mend trails, and then we would do team building activities, and I would teach anger management classes, which is weird, but it was fun. And so this one camp, we got a call before, and this guy, our parole officer guy, who was the counselor, said, "There's gonna be this one kid at the camp, and he's like really special, and I really like but he's kind of volatile. You're gonna have to look out for him." And we were like, okay. And then he's like, "Oh, and there's this other kid who doesn't speak a word of English." We were like, okay. So the kids come up, and they come up in this van, and they have this like plastic bags with their like socks and their white t-shirts and their underwear, and they have to trade in their clothes, and they can get our clothes, which are like Carhartts and, you know, work boots and stuff like that. And they were guys, so I was like doing the check-in, and my coworker is in the dressing room because he has to like check the kids, like not like strip search or anything, but just like make sure that they're not like smuggling drugs in. And he like pulled some pot off one kid who happened to be from this Vietnamese gang, and there was this other kid from this Hmong gang, and they were like beefing from Denver, and that was weird. And then there was this other kid who came in, he was like 14, and he was like really small, and he like went in, and he came back out, and my friend Chris peeks out the door, and he's like this look, right? And I was like, what's going on? And then this other kid is really tall, and he's Jesse, the one that we were supposed to be looking out for. Really tall and big and beefy. And so Jesse comes in, and he gets this look from Chris like at this point. So we get the kids all geared up, and we're hiking up the field, through this field up to our campsite, and we see that, am I out of time? No, okay, that was out there, okay. So we're hiking up to this field, and we see that, that my friend tells me, he's like gonna fill me in, he's like, so that little guy, he's got girls' underwear. He is like flaming gay. Like, not just a little bit gay, he's so gay. And I was like, okay. And he's like, and Jesse, that big guy, you know, the one with the shaved head, swastika, big one, tattooed on the arm. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be an interesting camp. And then there was Jose, who didn't speak a word of English. And so we went through the camp, and it was really cold. We did this all year long, so even in the winter, and it was really cold and rainy. And so we did all our work, and the kids were awesome. Like, they were the best group of campers I've ever had. And at night we would stay up in the cabins, and Jesse and I would play chess, and he was really good. He kept beating me. And I thought I was actually pretty good at chess, and we'd talk about life, and he would talk to me about how bad Jewish people were, and I'm Jewish. So I was like hearing the blood pulsing in my ears, like hearing someone talk about how bad Jewish people were, and trying to like just play the game and like have a conversation. Well, who are the Jewish people you know? He'd be like, Jeff. And I'd be like, oh yeah, my boss, your counselor, the parole guy. Yeah, he looks out for me. He's Jewish. And I'm Jewish. Do you know any other Jewish people? No. But Jewish people are bad, right? And so I could just see that this, like, it was so ingrained, and he was kind of confused, but it was tough. And so after 5 days of amazing work, these kids got to have movie night at the lodge. So we were up in the night, up in the lodge having movie night, and we had to come back late at night. One of the most awesome team building activities is the kids have to carry water with these big wooden sticks and like 5-gallon things of water, like a mile and a half. So they're carrying the water, and I realized that my partner forgot our walkie-talkies and has to run back and get the walkie-talkies. And so I say, it's pitch black out. We don't have flashlights because otherwise they could escape. So it's pitch black. We're walking through. They're 10:30 at night. They had a great movie night. I'm like, I got this. Like, there's a little bit of a moon. I can kind of see the road. You go get the walkie-talkies, take the shortcut through the woods, and meet us at the top of the hill. So the kids are like carrying water. It takes like forever when they carry water. And my friend goes back, gets the walkie-talkies, and like totally beats us because he cuts through the wood and gets up the hill. And we've been telling these kids like these sort of ghost stories around the campfire about like this old man with a beard who's really creepy and lives out in the woods. It's all sort of a strategy to get them to not run away. So my friend with the walkie-talkies, my co-counselor, is up at the top of a hill, like leaning against a tree like this. And the kids are hauling the water up the hill. And Jesse's got this stick, and with all the kids, and he sees this guy at the top and says, shit, I guess I'm gonna have to do this. And he starts taking the stick out like he's gonna literally have to beat down the old man with the stick to protect the gay kid, the Hmong kid, the Jewish counselor. And I realized that this kid who has got a swastika tattooed on his arm and a skinhead sees us as his family. And I realized that now I work at Bridges with really talented kids, and the kids that I worked with those first few years are just as good and just as awesome. And they taught me that young people are worth believing in. So thank you.